So we've alluded to this a couple of times. Different values. Maybe it's not something you do; it's something you be, which is pretty, touchy-feely and everything. Maybe we can hone in on that. Can you come up with, or from your own experience, specific values you think that might need to be integrated into your organization's value set? And how do you accomplish that? Do you just do it by doing it? Do you try to do some sort of values, mission, organizational change process in parallel with your Agile? And what happens if you don't?
Okay, so we're doing the work that we're doing is set, as part of a larger transformation program. So we have a change management effort and some communication that goes with it, and we're not just trying to implement Agile. We're doing a bunch of other things at the same time. So we have the good fortune of having invested or being in the process of investing in an infrastructure, so to speak, a change infrastructure to support this. What we've seen a couple of examples of teams that didn't have all of that infrastructure and still got there. They got there because they had that shared, vision or passion for why they needed to change and what they wanted the end results to be. I don't know that there's anything new to add to the first part of the question, which is, so what are those specific cultural elements? It's about focus, it's about decision making, it's about accountability, and collaboration. I think if you do those things, there's absolutely nothing here that is rocket science, not a single bit of it. But it's about making all those things, making it okay to be all of those things.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It doesn't turn your corporate values on their head.
Right.
It really gives you a chance to really embrace them. Most organizations have some corporate value about integrity or honesty or being upfront, having the courage for tough decisions.
Nobody's got
sort of
information hiding,
Right.
protectionism.
Right.
For us,
value set.
Those come later.
hustle, transparency, accountability, team. It doesn't, I talked earlier about a talent. We've had perfectly talented people on one of our Agile projects that failed, quite frankly. The first 6 months, it failed. These were seasoned, 20-year veteran software developers, architect levels, really bright guys. They didn't have that team mentality. They weren't willing to take on menial tasks on behalf of getting the story completed. And they didn't make it in the team. Bright guys. But they didn't have that mindset, which is collection of humility and transparency and hustle. Do it. Don't think about it. Do it.
You just hit on something there that I think is really important. So we've talked about the talent, level that's required to do this kind of thing. To use a simple analogy about this, this is the Southwest Airlines version of software development. This is not the United Airlines. No offense. The United Airlines. No offense, really. Although. Really. It's not the United Airlines version, right? How does Southwest do what they do? They do what they do because whether you're the stewardess or, frankly, the pilot, if the luggage needs to get loaded, the luggage gets loaded, right? There's not I'm sorry, but my union clause, page 374, paragraph 17C,
not my
says
job.
That's not my job. And I think that mindset of, we're here to get the plane turned around in 20 minutes at the gate, no matter what, that's a significant change from many organizations. You look across IT as a whole, I think you would all, at least I have observed this, and maybe you would all agree, over the last 15 years there has been an increasing amount of functional specialization, right? How many people have specific, QA and testing versus development versus analyst, systems analyst, or business analyst versus blah, 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 blah kind of roles in an organization. That's a problem, ladies and gentlemen, I would argue. And if you don't pick the right people to just start with.
Eric, that's right. Some of our most successful Agile team members are generalists. Now, we haven't quite blended QA and software development yet, that may be on the horizon, don't know. But our software dev and QA hotshots are generalists. The QA people can migrate between automation and functional QA, and the reporting aspect of QA. Software can transverse architecture to low-level design.
I think you're hitting on at least two mindset changes, one from the team and one from managers. For the team, it's all about the team commitment. So if you're a specialized developer, guess what? Halfway through the iteration, if I'm the iteration manager or the scrum master, I might ask you to help the QAs out in testing, because the team has a commitment to get these stories done over these next 2 weeks. So, and it really leads into a great motivator for the team. They set their goals, their commitments, and it's up to them to how they achieve it. For manager, I think whether it's a technical manager or project manager, I think the biggest change, and not all people can accomplish this change, is to go more towards a servant leadership, a true leadership role, rather than a manager who controls the team. So if the team has a blocker, remove the blocker, do whatever you need to keep that team rolling and defend that team. And that's a big mindset shift for a lot of seasoned project managers. Some don't make the journey too well.
So what I'm hearing is you want to go toward more generalist roles, people who can pick up the architecture, pick up the testing, do whatever. Does that mean then we don't have, architects and QA lead type positions or tech leads, or if not, then how do you engage with those specific specialties? Are there points of accountability and expertise, or is it just a big soup of generalists?
I don't think it's a big soup of generalists, right? I would not advocate that there is no more architecture, there's no more performance and scale testing, or sort of infrastructure management or other specialties that you have out there. But getting those people to be of a mindset that they're gonna, if the job today as a project team is to dig a hole, that they're gonna ask for a shovel. Just tell me what shovel you want me to use, and I'm there, no matter whether you're the shoveler or not. There's a mindset thing that you want in those teams. And there is a create the right team construct for executing the project, and not I'm sorry, but you'll have to talk, I'm the QA person, right? You'll have to talk to my QA lead for my engagement on this activity before I will, sign Form 36B to pick up the shovel to start digging the hole. You can't create that kind of, sort of resource dynamic and accountability dynamic for the team. It can't be the project manager has to go run through 6 levels of lead and management to get at the resources they need to execute. That's the part that'll get you.